Okay, there we go. Uh, Due to the incidents like today and yesterday, I'm no longer going to be on Trekking on Tuesday until something happens weird. So we're going to pretend the past couple days didn't happen, and we're going to try and get this channel back on track. All right. So I've got a Star Trek fan film. It's an unfinished Phase 2 episode that I think they've got caught up in the whole guideline shutdown. Thank you, Alec, for the crap you pulled, and pretty much kiboshed the entire industry or so. And Phase 2 just they didn't want to even try the thing of like grandfather clause of if you're already in production you can finish it. They could finish it now still because it was in production before then. But they just chose to, nope, that's it, we're done. And got the license, and then now it's a licensed tour in Ticonderoga, a major tourist attraction. I do intend on seeing it one day. We live long enough, but it's like $22 admission for the you got to walk around the sets, and it's a very immersive experience from the videos I've seen. If everything's closed in, they got all walls finished, they piped in sound effects, and it's very much they try and make it as much like you're on the ship, even though the layout is totally different. And like I said, that's fine if you want museum quality representation of these sets, where it looks like you're on the ship. If you want to look like if you want to like I said, Shatner's been there. Oh yeah, this is great. It's just no, it's not just like a bill. If you want to see what it was really like on Desilu stage 3, stage 9, stage 8, whichever one it was, stage 9 I think it was. In 1966, 60, then go to this in Kingsland, Georgia, when they're doing a fan appreciation weekend, and you'll get around. And those are working sets; they are still being used today for fan films. You pay a $500 deposit; the rest is up to you. But they get script. They got to approve your script because they don't. Can you imagine if the people who do the Sex Trek movie episodes, if they had access to these sets, it would change the because right now it's obvious these things are they're shooting in someone's back garage somewhere with a couple of things left over from Radio Shack. No, if they could do it on actual sets, that would change the game on that thing. But I sent out invites, and they even had the link in the chat for a little. But I figured given
not too many people here.
Given today's episode, I don't want to but. This is we're going to go through this one, and this is kind of a dual thing. It's a little bit of backstory with Kirk when he was a cadet, and the kid they got playing Finnegan is a dead ringer for Bruce Mars back in the day. Now I'm delaying it because I did send out a lot of invites. If somebody shows up and wants to look at this thing with me and have the discussion going.
1951.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am in the queue.
Okay, well, not a bad year either. All right. Oh yeah, they would definitely shut it down because one of the rules and the guidelines is no pornography. It's right there stated no nudity or pornography. Well, yeah, so that Although also in that case it wouldn't be done by a fan film production. It'd be like whatever I think it's still the same company. Moonlight, I think, is the Moonlight Production Entertainment. But yeah, they would take a very dim view. And the closest where they got was Hustler did a parody. This ain't Star Trek XXX. And the better sets, they did pretty much a direct adaptation of Space Seed. With apparently the way and different variations. And one of the ways that, I think Kirk and Spock were able to escape mind control from Khan was both being blown by Uhura. Okay, that's the thing. We're on the bridge. She's blowing back and forth. So, but that's another. I'll let West handle the porn. I'm not going to. I want to make this a regular feature on this channel. They've been needing some regular shows to, again, get this thing back on track here. I mean, one thing I do, I have let personal issues derail this channel a little too long, okay? Now, I'm not going to go into it because we did enough of that today, and I look like enough of a jackass as it is. So I'm not going to get into that.
No, we're not.
No. And we're just going to focus on, again, the objective of this channel is, reviewing Star Trek, talking about Star Trek, what can possibly be done with it. And, yeah. Oh yeah, they could, definitely bankroll the rent on that, warehouse for, a year. Well, yeah, and I'm sure they'd hit on that. One notable thing about that thing, the guy playing Kirk, he was known for having a big, long ponytail. So they had to cut it off, and they had a big thing. All right, go ahead. And he just cut off, and then, so he had short hair for the first time in years. Again, I'm hoping somebody will, still likes me enough that they'll show up for this. Want to join in on the chat. Because, again, it gets a little boring if I can do this by myself. So,
still likes me enough.
Whoops.
What'd you do?
Well, I forgot to mute the guy. All right, so again, this is kind of a dual thing because by this point, David Gerrold has become the showrunner at Phase 2. It's James Cawley's outfit. But they hadn't had the falling out with Vic Mignogna because Vic is in this. But, basically, Gerrold dusted off his original, he did a pitch way back in the day. At the same time, he pitched what would become Trouble with Troubles. He also pitched a story called The Protracted Man, with the concept being that this guy kind of becomes detached in the timeline type thing. It's dimensionally kind of off, which would have been. He was also thinking, trying to appeal to the producer's mindset, and think that the special effects required would be fairly cheap. Oh yeah, we're trying to get the at this point, it's kind of whistling past the graveyard because we've already been till tomorrow to get the hell out unless something happens. But there's an outside chance we might get a pay out one of these games by tonight. Who knows? If it does, I'm going to be up there in a shot and paying them off. In the meantime, though, I choose to finish the game. Okay, so, but this would have been at the time the cheapest of the special effects to do. You just kind of have the various colors just slightly out of phase, so there's a bit of a shimmer effect. The guy ends up, almost like a Doppler shift when the guy moves, and they would play hell and the even worse from the man affected. All right. And also, it would have been nuts because, at one point, he hold up. Well, we'll see eventually. Like I said, the main thing, it's still a pretty good. If you can fill it out, okay, this would have been taken care of in special effects. A lot of missing effects. The sound's not quite there, but it's still, you follow the story along. It's pretty engaging thing. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this in here.
Oh God! In my own comments.
Yeah. What did you censor Miss Galore's first name, or is that just?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, that's probably good. So we're gonna put this up here, and like I said, this is reworked slightly into to incorporate Kirk in there as an origin story. This is you got a bit at the very beginning. Apparently, they're going back to, I don't know. I think I may be following. I don't. That doesn't make sense either. Somehow they were going back to Earth because something with Kirk's tomorrow and then eviction proceeding. That'll buy us a month.
The sun. Now this, and you've lost. I know what I've lost. Look, I know you hate to lose. You'd rather cheat than lose.
Damn it, Bones! I know.
Transporter room. How long till you complete the evacuation?
If we lower the shields, 3 minutes.
Do it.
3 Klingon warbirds coming in fast.
Open attack position. 45 seconds. Open hailing frequencies.
They won't respond.
I gave you an order. I didn't ask for a discussion. Time. Have it your way, Jimmy boy. Hailing frequencies off.
Klingon vessels, this is Captain James T. Kirk. Do not fire. I repeat, do not fire.
We are on a rescue mission. Our shields are down. We are not hostile.
They're firing disruptors. Well, so much for neutral.
Getting over your head.
Shields up.
Yeah, the guy they got playing Finnegan is a dead ringer for Chris Morris.
Shields are down 50%.
Lock phasers. Stand by to fire.
That's not exactly peaceful, Jimmy.
They're not giving me a choice.
They could be testing you.
3 hits is not a test. I'm not losing my shit on the fight. Fire at will.
It was. This was actually shortly before here, because Vic shows up in here as Kirk's father coming up here. And back then, him and James Collier were best buds. So I'm not sure what the hell happened between them. But yeah, this is also how he's able to afford to do these sets, because he makes very good money being one of the top Elvis impersonators in the country.
Strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Listen, I credit Collie for the balls of actually, most fan films is like they would do their own shit. They like the Exeter or Farragut, Yeah, this works better if we got a back and forth here this panel. Yeah.
I'm just now getting the titles.
Yeah, of course, there's Alec Peters. Inserting himself there as Captain Garth, although he's in the wrong uniform.
Gotta admit, the kid's got potential. You're crazy.
You laughed again, Jimmy boy. I bet you're getting into it.
I thought I had it beat this time.
You're worried about testing and just your
Also, we have a mission. This is supposed to be Gary Mitchell.
What about your old buddy? Gary, remember me? Your roommate? Hello? Sir.
Yeah, I got a bit of an issue with that timeline there. I think in actuality, it's like, I think, if you shake it out a bit, it works out better if Kirk met Mitchell.
Open it up.
After he's already out, in a lieutenant, because Lieutenant Kirk's class, he was an instructor at the academy.
It's about choices, Mr. Kirk. It's a test character. Lines. Trainees to the briefing room. Not you, Kirk.
A recreation of the scene from Star Trek 2.
The Kobayashi room is about winning. It's about revealing your character to the choices you make. And you, Mr. Kirk, make dangerous choices. We'll talk about that later. There's been an accident. It's your father.
So they've done some of it, or this is, stock footage pulled from somewhere else. One of the two.
Well, did they mow you?
Yeah, that was Katoomba actually, where they brought in Gil Gerard and Alec.
No.
Andy Probert, actually, not Alex. And I forget who else they had, but
Jim, I'm your friend. Talk to me.
I don't need this right now, Gary. In less than half an hour, I have to be on a transport headed for the Enterprise.
I think it was Katoomba's where things blew up with him and
My father's in trouble. He needs my help.
Vic and James there. So
You seen that little travel kit that I keep?
Yeah, you loaned it to Corey.
No, I didn't.
Well, then I did. You weren't using it, and you had those tickets you wanted for Carol.
Oh, damn. Get my kit. Meet me at the transporter. Gotta go see Carol.
and
She's pissed.
Of course I'm pissed. Did you think I wouldn't be? And they didn't even tell you what's wrong?
I don't think they know.
No. They just don't want you gossiping. To the desk. You're like a bunch of little girls at a tea party. Don't want you a secret, you might as well.
okay, green screen there, so they would have been inserting
A little privacy.
It's a clinic, not a coffee shop.
Dr. McCoy, please. I'm trying to say goodbye to my girlfriend.
Mhm.
I'll be right back. Don't die.
Yeah, I wonder about working McCoy in there, but it's better than having him at the academy with Kirk. That makes no sense.
You were coming back.
This isn't some dangerous mission.
I don't know that.
I don't think he went to the academy. He would have
It
gone
must
through
be
training at Starfleet Medical. He wouldn't have gone to the academy. He would have gone into an OCS thing. Mm-hmm.
How long have you been there?
Long enough.
God.
Call me Gary.
Anyway,
I told you to meet me at the transporter. Forget that, Jim. Listen, as your friend, be careful out there. Whatever this is, it is serious, probably dangerous, Gary. I'll be careful. I promise.
mm-hmm.
Jim, A. Risk is my middle name. Oh.
And that's their explanation for that tombstone.
What?
Risk is his middle name, then that's how they explain why, the James R. Kirk. That's how they work that in. Which is, I guess, not totally, totally acceptable.
Next group ready for beam out. Starfleet Transport Bishop, Sanderson, Michaels, Stewart, Ward,
1943.
All right.
Kirk. Where's Kirk?
Sorry, sir.
And yes, this is just reworking the.
Jimmy! Nice to meet you here. I haven't seen your smiling face in forever. Okay, here we go. You're being over to transport. I have your star base now. I'll be sure to sit next to you. We'll have a few laughs. Settle down to this. Energize.
Yeah, they hadn't got the sparkle in there yet. And also, if I were being a continuity picker on this thing, and it has a wrong sound effect. We're talking Pike's Enterprise, that really annoying sound. So yeah, but it's an unfinished thing. They would have fixed that easy now, yeah. And there we have what is it, the shuttle digging out of that. And this one I got an issue with because Galileo, but it's shuttle number 5. So that's a Galileo 5. Pick it as a name because it's not the way it works.
You'll be briefed. I'm a little surprised that the first officer is my escort. I guess I expected the transport to take me right to the Enterprise.
That wasn't possible.
Yeah, they did a damn good job with that guy. And we get our anomaly of the week here.
What the hell? It looks like a... Is that a white hole?
Spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've never seen one? You do know what a white hole is, don't you?
The back end of the black hole. They're connected. They're the two ends of a superstring. White holes are part of the vacuum solution to the Einstein field equations described in Schwarzschild wormhole. One end is a black hole sucking in matter, and the other is a white hole spewing it out.
I'm impressed, Mr. Kirk. Never seen one up close.
I'd be dead, wouldn't I?
Not this far.
Yeah, they're a little heavily handed with the sound effects at this point.
But a white hole has the same magnetic strength as its corresponding black hole.
No worries, Cadet. As long as we stay away from the event horizon, we should be safe. Which is why it's going to take longer to reach the Enterprise.
Do we have that kind of time? I mean, why don't we just beam over?
Because we can't.
Because the transporter is otherwise occupied at the moment.
What's that?
It's fire. Never seen it before. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But it's usually fatal. If the deflectors fail.
Well, it's looking at again, that's the first time out of spur of the wrong thing here, so change things around.
Lieutenant! Lieutenant!
In fact, I think I'll just go to
Lieutenant!
there. Takes care of that. Yeah, I would have an issue with this particular computer there.
Enterprise. Enterprise, this is Galileo 5, Cadet Kirk, pilot. We've been hit by St. Murphy's fire. The first officer is unconscious.
Enterprise, Cadet Kirk, are you certified to pilot a shuttlecraft?
No, sir.
How many pilot hours do you have?
112. In the simulator.
Sir, who am I speaking to? Sir!
This is Lieutenant.
It's like, cadet, you ain't got the time to get to know who's what you're talking to. Just follow the directions.
You're monitoring number one's medical condition. She is not critical. Cadet, can you pilot a shuttle?
I don't know. We haven't done that simulation yet.
To the right of the systems, there's a blue target.
I know what the auto control switch looks like. It's burned out. It's useless.
Try to implement the procedures.
There she is. Yep. This is their version of the first pilot version of the Enterprise.
I can drive a shuttlecraft. I can drive dice. Or I can just do this. Okay. Docking is about matching trajectories. Swing direction. Working on that, sir. Enterprise, prepare for emergency landing.
It's like, Enterprise, get a tractor beam on me so I don't bend your shuttlecraft. And this is going to be ugly.
What the hell was that?
Cadet Kirk has arrived.
Okay. And message shot coming out
All right.
there. And then there would have been insert a green screen shot of the shuttlecraft. And hang it
It's
back.
not that bad.
This looks like a job for Lieutenant Scott.
I'm fine.
And this is not out of line because Dorothy Fontana wrote a novel set to both Spock and Scotty coming up with the show at the same time. So on the ship at the same time, well before Kirk.
Hi.
Cadet,
Yes, sir.
first time on a starship?
Yes, sir.
Nobody gets here by accident. Well, most people don't. Follow me.
It's got some good dialogue, you know.
Cadet,
Captain Pike.
Fleet Captain Pike. I've been promoted.
Fleet Captain Pike.
You'll still be dressed as captain, so it'll make no
How are you,
difference.
Cadet? Nice to see you're still in one piece.
Wish I could say the same about your shuttlecraft, sir. I'm very sorry.
Oh, no apologies, son. We'll be taking it out of your pay. That's a joke.
Thank you, sir.
Just like his father, not known for his sense of humor.
Yes, sir. May I ask, where is my father?
Have a seat, please. On my own authority, I am granting you a C7 security clearance. Whatever you hear from this point forward will not be discussed with anyone not presently in this room. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Spock.
Your father, Commander Kirk, was in charge of the receiving station for the Vermiport project.
Vermiport?
An attempt to push a long-distance transporter beam through a wormhole.
You're joking. This is another joke.
No, why would we joke about that sort of thing?
Are you saying my father tried to transport through a wormhole?
Such an attempt would be fatal. Present-day field technology is insufficient to withstand the gravitic stresses of even a single event horizon, let alone the tidal strains of multiple singularities. The purpose of the project is to determine the parameters of holographic transmission through subspace, and whether or not superstring manipulation will distort complex data fields beyond restoration. For purposes of the project, a transporter beam is the ideal carrier medium. The test required us to put a receiving station aboard a shuttlecraft. There was a flare. Your father beamed over the recalibrated receptor array. While beaming him back to the Enterprise, there was another flare.
What happened to him?
The flare distorted the singularity. The very substance of space was stretched. The transporter beam carrying your father was discoordinated.
You lost him?
Not exactly.
Where is he now?
Your father is still in the transporter.
Well, Kirk was, at the time the youngest captain in
I don't
Starfleet,
understand.
so he went screaming by some people. This is a bit of a stretch in some places, but it's workable. Although I would have hopefully we worked things before we got to this stage of filming. Yeah, this would have been. And there's Vic.
We cannot reintegrate him.
Is he in pain?
There's nothing there to feel pain.
Mr. Spock, please. We have an idea that's extremely dangerous.
You need my permission?
No, your participation. It can take a great risk to yourself.
I don't care what the risk is. If it'll save my father, let's do it.
Told you.
Yes, sir. You could have spared me the long explanation. The answer was always going to be yes.
We have a responsibility to advise you of the risk.
Fine, and thank you. Can we please get started?
Commander Kirk's transporter pattern is fragmented. We cannot reintegrate him.
I don't understand.
Now this is kind of a little bit of technobabble, but
If he didn't, we're not clones.
What? Hold on.
I'm his son.
7 years old, both you and your father were infected with the same strain of the vagan cordial meningitis microbe. While the microbe itself is now benign, it does produce unique and specific holographic resonances against human DNA. Consider it a kind of public key encryption, with the microbial pattern as the key. If we have an undistorted key, then we may be able to reintegrate your father's structure using those resonance patterns as a reference point. That is why we need you.
So
Yeah, that's another issue I got with the fleet captain and Kirk going in this quite this early.
Can we please get started?
So yeah, we're playing a little fast and loose with the timeline here.
Are all Vulcans up?
No, most are more so. Thank you. Bridge. I'm on my way.
Of that blah 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 bridge. Yeah, he was on a few things. He's a professional actor. He's been in CSI and some other stuff.
It looks like White Gold is the greatest thought she rejected.
If the rate of deterioration continues, we'll be out of the safety window within an hour.
Mr. Spock.
This is outside the normal range of expected cycling. I suspect it might be the effect of the vermicore relay.
I will not close it until we reintegrate the command curve.
Captain, have you considered the possibility that it is the vermicore link that's causing the problem with the transporter beam?
I'm not closing it until we reintegrate the command curve.
We may not be able to retrieve the
Yeah,
command curve. The situation will
this dialogue would have been
continue
dubbed.
to deteriorate itself until the white hole implodes. Captain, if we're still linked, the Enterprise will be destroyed.
You have a lovely way with words, Mr. Spock.
Thank you.
I know how that is, Jack.
That was sarcasm, wasn't it?
I don't know if we ever get a name for that chief engineer. And again, there would have been music on here. And I wonder if there's enough there to make a finished episode.
Sure you're ready for this?
You really have to ask.
We could lose the boat.
I'll take the risk.
We're ready, Captain.
Yeah,
Time's of the essence.
the audio is not finished. It's very much an unfinished episode.
Mr. Spock, engaging integration.
Because Vic there would have been fading in and out, you know, and probably some transporter sparkle there. Kind of phasing, you know. And I get both win-win going to the transporter thing effect. Because I think it's pretty sure it's a still frame. Yeah.
Nothing's happening.
Energize again.
Energize.
Yeah, and also the thing that would have taken, it's like they didn't have that transporter console for either pilot. What they did was they brought the helm console down and set that up on a bit of a plinth. This is a nice little flashback scene here.
Well, look who's up early. Well, it's a special occasion, Jimmy.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Shoot. I mean, I've got to go to San Francisco in a couple hours. Maybe we could talk
I
about
get
it.
accepted into Starfleet.
Like I said, you can come on and chat if you want. I can send you a link. You can make it a panel discussion.
Jim, where's the discussion? I thought you were going to go back to the university. You were going to go back and stay with your brother's family. You were going to continue your studies. I mean, you're a good student.
Dad, university isn't for me. And Sam has his own family. He doesn't need his little
before
brother hanging along.
before the big shutdown, though.
Then what is it? Is it Tarsus?
It's not about that.
Then what?
So I'd put it around
James,
2014 because I was seeing this before he got booted out on the street. And it's one of the ones I had in the pipeline.
Dad, all I can think about is the stars.
1934.
Is it so wrong that I'm so much like you?
Probably the best and worst question a son could ever ask his father.
Okay, he wants the link.
Alrighty. I think I can. There we go.
Well,
I'll pull it once you're in here.
Thought I'd read your letter. You know, avoid the blast radius.
I know what you mean.
Captain, we have no time. Hi.
Captain, the singularity is flaring again. We're well into the orange and it's likely to go red any time now.
Logic dictates that we remove ourselves to a safe distance.
Shut it down. No.
Yeah, so Vic is fine. And Cadet oversteps his bounds there. And Pike is not amused.
Okay, are you checking the...
I'm on the ping, so if he shows up, get him in. Here's Vic. And then go to commercial, and there we go back.
He's not fully integrated.
Yes, he is. Fascinating.
Okay.
And odd.
Looks like he's about to
What
fall
are you
over.
doing here?
Yeah. That's not helping. Only a week and a half, George. Don't worry about it.
George, are you okay?
Yeah, apparently as weird as it would have been for him, it'd be weirder for him.
It's almost like it was aimed straight at us.
I think we drew its fire. How soon can we move?
Warp drive is down. We're on emergency battery power. I'm still gathering status reports.
I need to know, number one.
No, it's not the reverb.
What the hell is going on? Someone please explain.
Because they didn't finish the sound mix.
Way to reintegrate a transporter signal. The tidal effects of the singularity have distorted the fourth level components of the assembling matrix. His temporal dimension has been expanded.
In English, Mr. Spock.
We have you back, sir, but you've been stretched through time a small fraction of a second. I'm still trying to calculate it. This is a remarkable phenomenon.
This is my father you're talking about.
I'm aware of that, Cadet. I'm uncertain if we will be able to reconstruct his temporal dimension so that it is congruent with ours. To be quite candid, I've never seen anything like this. No one has. There have been some theoretical simulations, but never with a singularity involved.
And there.
Captain, the singularity flares are receding. Whatever you did.
Please stop doing it.
And welcome, son of a red shirt.
Doctor, get
Hey, Captain. Thank you for having me.
I want complete bio scans, Mr. Spock.
Pull that before somebody comes in with one.
Get engines back up to speed.
Pull up the drawbridge. Okay. Now, I think, again, there's a lot of little nitpicky stuff that could tear us apart on, but overall, it's a good show so far, I think.
Oh, yeah. A lot of heart, and that really makes up for any little inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder who is the real Vulcan on this ship.
Says.
We need to move the Enterprise as soon as possible.
How soon?
Engineering can give us impulse in 30 minutes, but we need the warp drive to escape the implosion of the singularity.
I think this would have been
There's still a
the finished soundtrack, but it's not synced up with the actual
Starboard too.
Right.
Lieutenant Scott. I'm surprised it's not finished already. It was a joke.
Yes, sir.
I think it depends on where they plotted this in the timeline. Is there the
Yeah, I think I missed a bit of the beginning. Is this supposed to be like an alternate history episode?
Would you please
I don't know. Alternate history was just like their idea of
Let the doctor and
what
Mr. Spock
Kirk
do their
went
work.
through as a cadet, and kind of a formative instance in his life when his dad was in trouble. Yeah.
I asked because wasn't in that one double feature the original series had, Captain Kirk actually said, I only met Captain Pike once. That's when I took command of the Enterprise from him.
Is the problem.
Well, it's I met him when I
Assume
took
you
him
have
away. He got
ambitions
promoted
within
to fleet
Starfleet.
captain. Yeah,
Perhaps you even aspire to be a captain someday.
so that's kind of the
What you
impression
most
there.
need to learn is that decisions made on the emotional domain are almost always wrong.
This one wasn't.
Precisely where I used the word almost. You will use one success to justify 100 mistakes. You are too emotional and reckless.
Reckless? I'll show you reckless. Take a swing at him, Kirk.
Dad, how does anyone put up with him?
You want to win an argument with Mr. Spock?
Yes.
You turn to him, look him right in the eyes and say, yes, Mr. Spock, that's very logical.
Is that Vic Mignogna?
Yes, Mr. Spock. That's very logical.
Thank you.
Okay, that bit of business over with.
So like them.
Okay.
I never will. Vulcans?
Say hi.
Ah, my ship.
Yeah.
Get that one out.
And again, forgetting, about them Vulcaneers. Now this is a good. I saw this scene way back, when before just a few years ago on this thing here.
Talk about your behavior in the transporter room.
Sir, eyes front, cadet.
This is called being read the riot actors.
Sir, I can explain.
I didn't ask you to explain, cadet.
Sir, I admit that my conduct was inappropriate.
Inappropriate? Inappropriate? If you weren't George Kirk's son, you would be floating home right now. Your conduct was unbecoming of a Starfleet cadet.
I'm wondering if they just, because I've seen this scene and the sound was synced, so I'm wondering if this is just a problem with whoever got this put together.
I flag you, Kirk. You don't graduate. Do you understand that? Better hold on if I keyhole your ass. I do understand. I understand. But I will not tolerate a breach of discipline on my ship!
I'm not sure I picture Jeffrey Hunter
There are no justifications
doing
on
this.
my ship. There are no
Yeah.
rationalizations on my ship.
Because Jeff Hunter was not this
You
guy.
can't
Well, he could be,
say
actually.
or not say
John Wayne
whatever
stuff
you
he
want,
did.
but it will not
He could be.
mitigate
This is a combination of,
down in the chain of command.
how do you say, not really great writing and horrible overacting with a lack of direction by the director's part.
You have not made
Unfortunately, I don't have any credits here, so it's like.
You're reckless. You follow your own course.
Well, again, this is an adaptation of a David Gerrold story, so he probably wrote it himself. And he was getting into directing too. He directed the two-parter Blood and Fire that he did for him.
Oh.
So, probably one and the same in this case.
The same gentleman that did Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
One person thinks you're an ass, that's one person's opinion. 10 people think you're an ass. You get fitted for a salad.
I love that line.
Whether you learn to express it or not, so it's entirely up to you. But on my ship, you will act appropriately. And that is an order.
Try screaming it at him.
And
that is that order!
Do you understand, cadet? I can't hear you!
Cut! I mean, Kirk!
Okay, and again,
Meanwhile, on the Starship Enterprise.
yeah.
Captain.
I would like to hear some good news.
Yes, sir. We restored limited warp power.
And the bad news.
Commander Kirk is still anchored to the time distortion surrounding the singularity.
Same way we're anchored by its gravity field.
An imprecise analogy, Captain. But yes.
Warp our way out of range, that'll fix it.
A logical assumption. But Captain, I have no experience with this. No one does. But fascinating.
Bridge to Pitcairn. Status report.
I give you 0.5 past light speed.
I'll take it.
Hey, that's what the Millennium Falcon does.
Yeah. That's why we got the line. Pitcairn. That's the name of the engineer, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, Pitcairn. That's got a historical ring to it.
Yeah, it's the island where the bounty.
Yeah, Mutiny on the Bounty, sure.
All the sub-processors and all the indicators too. Look green across the board, and we should be rolling finally.
Yeah, we did a bishop with Pitcairn on for a while.
We only had 8 sub-processors.
Aye, but
I built 2 from parts and 2 more from the ones of the units we pulled. Well done, Mr. Scout. It's only temporary big stuff. And the power drain will be almost doubled. But it'll expand our effective transporter range by 14%. I promise it'll be no trouble at all. Thanks, Mr. Scout.
Yeah, David.
There'll be no trouble. I mean, trouble at all.
Yeah.
But,
Captain, I've done some further computations, and I believe there's a slight possibility that Longing could work.
Yeah, I know. Ed Marine. Around.
The Enterprise in danger.
Remember, Captain, you're in good hands with the Trojans.
That's what it's certainly up to the odds, Mr. Spot.
I'm on, sir.
Number one, make ready for warp drive. Mr. Scott, I'd like you to sick bay, check on Commander Kurtz's condition. Door.
Yeah. While you're going for the door, you're not going to see him go through the door. Who cares? Just walking over there and down.
They should have just maintained that's how it was in the old days in Star Trek. You actually had to say door for the door to open.
Because the doors themselves actually grabs like hell. You know.
Yeah.
Occasionally they missed it in the finished episode.
Yeah. Oh,
James,
yeah.
come here.
Come here, James. Come on, James.
He gave you the talk, didn't he? He called me an ass. You got off easy. You don't want to know what he called me. He called me an ass. He gave you feedback, son. He was telling you how you're coming across to people around you. He wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have wasted his time if he didn't think you were worth the effort. It was a gift, Jimmy. Imagine what he would have done if he didn't care. You need to learn to listen beyond what people are saying to you. You need to learn to listen to what they're not saying. You need to learn to hear what they want from you. This is probably the second most important thing I can say to you.
Oh, hold on.
What's the first? That I love you, son. I apologize, Mr. Spock. It's a human thing.
Boys here.
Commander Kirk.
The sound effects just died.
Warp in 3, 2, 1. Mark. Shut it down! Shut it down now!
Okay. Yeah, Vic does do a good scream, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he throws himself into it. I'll give him that. I thought he was great as Captain Kirk.
Well, yeah, and I think,
I'm giving it all for power.
well, he went at it himself with a knife and scared the crap out of him.
The more I pushed, the more resist.
You're anchored.
Please, Captain. Please.
Shut it down. Number one, shut it down now. Mike.
Captain, you better get down to sickbay.
Yeah, better get on sick bay, cliche.
Number one, take the count.
And somebody's kid back there at the the communications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now this one, there would have been that big colors out of sync type thing. You know, so,
Why does everything look so strange? Why does everything look so strange?
well, his voice has gotten younger and gotten more hair.
Something's very wrong.
Hang in there, Kirk.
Something's very wrong.
He has us anchored to the singularity. We're stuck here.
We have only succeeded in further exacerbating his time dilation.
At least he's no longer in pain. Mr. Spock.
That's why the resorting to writing things on the clipboard there, because the distortion's gotten so bad he can't understand regular spoken word.
Oh, I get it.
Unfortunately, Captain, it is the only solution.
I did not bring that kid all the way out here so that he could watch his father die.
Captain, I am not heartless. I just cannot see any other
Spock,
option.
I am not putting your Kirk on a shuttlecraft and abandoning
It will allow us to move the Enterprise out of harm's way. Captain, we cannot surrender our logic to our emotions.
Cadet.
Also, I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Why? That's my father you're talking about.
Listen, I wonder where this guy got his footage, though, because, some of it's just...
Mr. Spock, you both told me to grow up, to act like a responsible Starfleet officer. And I have listened to the both of you. Well, I know what a Starfleet officer would do. I grew up with one. And all I have ever wanted was to be like him. I don't even need to ask him. I know what he'd say.
Save the ship, yeah.
Save the Enterprise. Your first
And get the girl.
ship and its mission. Always. So you don't have to treat me like I'm some kind of a child. Sure, I'm green. But I'm not stupid.
Actually, kind of sparkling
So
blue, but that's another issue.
Please, if you're going to demand that I act like a Starfleet officer, then treat me like one.
Okay, to the bridge.
Mr. Spock, once he's in the shuttlecraft, is there some way you can use a transporter to reintegrate my dad properly?
Okay.
Theoretically, I'll have to
Yes
run
or
the
no,
simulation.
Spock? Yes or no?
I cannot guarantee his outcome. Commander Kirk's survival is problematic.
Is that any better?
What's going on out there?
Captain, it's all about making the hard choices, isn't it? I mean, command.
All right. Mr. Spock, you and Pitcairn, Lieutenant Scott, get the transporters online.
Captain, there's another problem. In his condition, he cannot pilot a shuttlecraft.
I can. As long as I don't have to dock it.
Yeah, we saw how you pilot the shuttlecraft.
Your father would not allow it.
It's not about the risk. It's about vagal choriomeningitis. My father and I, we share the same microbial resonance. You used it to integrate them once, you can use it again. This time you'll do it better. Mr. Spock, I need your help.
This is another human thing.
No. No.
This is a human thing. Wanting to save your dad? This is a total human thing.
The cadet
Kind of extend dinner while I'm doing those.
If this fails, I'll walk home. Please. Can we get started?
If this fails, that shuttlecraft's probably going to blow up on your ass.
Yeah, well. I like how they got the little antennas sticking out of the Bizarre collectors.
Yeah, whatever they did, whatever CGI model that's spot on. Although,
yeah,
this has to be post Cage because it's showing more when Elvis gone before stuff.
Don't look at me like that, Dad. We both know I'm the only one who can do this.
Cap, I'll be back in just 1 minute.
All right.
What?
He's stepping up for a bit.
As soon as they're in position, Mr. Spock.
If we can recalibrate accurately, we should be able to compensate.
Theoretically.
Captain, you can evolve his limits.
Captain, the singularity is flaring again.
Fight the shuttlecraft.
Kirk here. Cadet, Kirk here.
Kirk, it's inappropriate for a cadet to be entrusted with the responsibilities of an officer. So I'm promoting you to acting ensign. This is a service promotion only and does not excuse you from your studies at the academy. That is if you survive, son.
Yes, sir.
Gee, thanks.
Captain, the singularity is going critical.
Ensign.
Do it now! We're beaming him now.
The singularity is flaring. It's going beyond the limits of your simulation.
I see it. I'm doing real-time recalculation.
And there goes George.
Captain, the singularity is imploding. Now.
Spock, we're out of time.
And here's Georgie.
Get Jimmy. Get my son!
Resetting integration. I'm sorry, sir. We cannot accurately beam Ensign Kirk at this range.
Then recalibrate for a closer range, Mr. Spock. Number 1, set a new course for the shuttle itself. We're doing a fast flyby. You'll get one shot at this.
Swinging in there. Yeah, shuttlecraft about to go boom. There goes shuttlecraft going boom or something. The whole thing going boom. Okay. Now, happy family again. They're all back and sailing back to Starfleet.
Ever been on the bridge of a starship?
No, sir.
Ever watch a Gladiator movies, Jimmy, there? Ever seen a grown man naked? That's because you're going to the bridge of a good.
I never want to leave, sir.
I don't feel. Ensign, you learned one of the most valuable lessons of a Starfleet officer today. And that is when it is appropriate to speak up, to take action. Not because you want to be right, but because the risk is worth it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Spock, for saving my life.
I think it's also a case of that's the wrong caller. That's not a cadet uniform. That's okay.
Don't try that. Really? Don't break me. Column is yours.
It's actually not idle advice because when I was down there last time in Kingsland, Georgia, someone did break the command chair. But that people were doing nothing, just going back and back, and when they ended up breaking the thing. So for a while it was blocked off, so nobody can sit in. And that's the memory. I think it's that's what I'm just I think it's a matter of they're going back to Earth because I think Kirk's father died. So I think it's probably what the whole motivation of the story is.
Mr. Scott, have Ensign Kirk meet me in the transporter.
Captain, he's already
Yeah, because we already got Peter as an ensign, so it's not hauling Sam back to them. Yeah.
I thought I told you I was being down alone.
You did.
Good morning. Jim, it's a family thing.
We'd all like to be with you, son.
Since when do we face our problems alone?
I need to see her alone first, Bones. I'll see you all at church.
Huh. Was Vic Mignogna the lead carpenter on this show too?
But again, these are not the credits for this episode. Someone just grabbed them from whatever they.
Oh.
Yeah, so these are the credits for Katoomba, actually.
Okay, because I thought in the minute I walked away, like Kirk's character had changed. He's now Thurin or something. When I read in the
yeah,
I
I know.
said Kirk, Vic Mignogna.
Yeah, that was his Klingon character in Katoomba.
Katoomba.
Well, yeah,
Well,
it'd be fun if I could get, if I knew where the footage was, and get better copies of the footage. It might be fun to, I'll do it, edit it myself.
yeah, fan edit.
Yeah.
A fan edit of another's fan film. Or something you don't see every day.
Let's get somebody, saying, hey, can you finish the effects here?
Well, no, that was great. I got to be honest. I kind of beef over such. If that made it into a movie, how many people that we both know on YouTube would be screaming that this is an abortion of what Star Trek is, and they didn't stay true to whatever, yada yada yada. It's a fan film.
Yeah, and the only problem, my guys, they do play fast and loose with the timeline, and
yeah,
yeah, that's some technical difference, but
yeah,
by and large, I think they did a good job, and I wish they still can go back and finish because it was in production before the thing, so they could probably still go back and finish this thing.
Yeah, if there's any money in it for them. I mean, you can't blame them either. How much does it cost to put one of these together? Really?
Well, yeah, these aren't cheap productions or something.
No. And the Star Trek Continue series, I am much more familiar with. To be honest, I've only not seen 2 of the episodes, and that's on purpose. That's the final 2, and that's just because my best pal lives in Chile, and I promised I'd save it for him when he gets back up here.
This was a while back.
Did you ever tell him about that time we won the DVD set?
Well, yeah, when I was the first time I was at up in Kingsland, and Vic showed up, and they tried to give away some DVD sets of Continues, and and they asked what was the race of the thing on Lolani, and I got tell her right, and got the set handed right to me. Yeah, I just found the clip of Kirk getting chewed out by Pike. 11 years ago.
Wow. 11 years
this
ago.
This is a little better quality than what they had here.
Yeah.
So let me get this shared up here.
I am curious, and if it's a personal question, please don't answer, but your name, I always assumed you took the name, like I took Son of a Red Shirt out of fun and out of my love for Star Trek, and it immediately identifies me to anyone in the know as a Trekkie. I get a couple of people asking me, what, was I for the British in the War of 1812? Well, okay, I'm Canadian, so yes, I guess I would have been, but realistically, it's just for Star Trek. Captain Robert April, was he not the...
Enterprise,
yeah, okay. So it's all in good fun. I didn't know, because I was thinking to myself, if your name really was Robert April, if my name was Robert April, I'd be getting people to call me Captain Robert April too.
It is Robert, but not April. Okay.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
But I've spread this far and wide, so anybody you're him. No, I'm not him. But here's the original clip that I saw. Like I said, 11 years ago this thing was. That's how long this thing's been festering.
Let's talk about your behavior in the transport room.
See what I mean? The sounds of singing.
Eyes front, cadet.
Sir, I can explain.
I didn't ask you to explain, cadet.
Sir, I admit that my conduct was inappropriate.
Inappropriate? Inappropriate? If you weren't George Kirk's son, you would be floating home right now. Your conduct was unbecoming of a Starfleet cadet. I should throw you in the brig for what you did.
Except we can't afford special effects.
Yeah.
I find you, Kirk. You don't graduate.
Well, they had a brig set in there, so they could have done that.
Oh, I was just being shitty.
Yeah, I know.
I do understand. I understand. But I will not tolerate a breach of discipline on my ship! There are no excuses on my ship. There are no justifications on my ship. There are no rationalizations on my ship.
I wonder how much spit this poor Kirk kid had to wipe off his face.
But it will not mitigate a breakdown in the chain of command. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
They understand it in the fucking basement.
Yeah, but guys,
use your indoor voice.
They think, oh boy, Pike's pad.
You're reckless. You follow your course. Disobey orders.
Who's this poor schmuck in sick bay chewing out?
What is the academy?
That guy's still waiting for his treatment.
What do they tell you?
Same thing Mr. Spock tells me, sir. That I'm an ass.
One person thinks you're an ass, that's one person's opinion. 10 people think you're an ass. You get fitted for a saddle. Whether you learn this lesson or not, son, it's entirely up to you. But on my ship, you will act appropriately. And that is an order.
Aye, aye.
He's trying hard not to piss his pants at this point.
Yeah, or just resist the urge to wipe his face with all that guy must have every T, every P, everything was pop, pop.
Yeah. Let's see. Now this was and this was on TrekMovie.com thing. I'd like to know where it's from. Colin Cunningham is the actor playing Pike. He's on Star Trek SG-1 or Stargate SG-1 and probably a lot of other stuff here.
That's where I remember him best from, because I was an SG-1 fan as well.
Yeah.
And he started off as a bit of an asshat, but then, they brought him in as a semi-regular good guy character, like stand up. He also had a TV show I was trying to watch for a while, and for the life of me, I can't remember a thing about it. And that's how popular it was, unfortunately, for the guy.
Yeah.
But I was watching it because of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a beauty to this sort of thing, and I love it. Yes, just even watching this shit, it frustrates me. Like, in the way canon works in my head, that sort of thing did need to be changed. I can understand changing the idea, like in the last episode of Fudge. What was it called? All Our Yesterdays? No, not All Our Yesterdays.
The last
Turnabout Intruder.
Yeah, that was the last episode. Yeah, the original series.
Right. And in that, they state definitively that there are no women allowed to rise to the position of command of a Starfleet vessel. That sort of thing, I can understand them going back and changing.
Well,
that
I can also say because Janice Lester was also nuttier than a fruitcake. So
yeah, you know what? I got the same argument from Captain Trek, but here's my argument to that: there's no way, nutty as a fruitcake or fucking not, that this woman graduated university, then went on to get a doctorate, then went on to head a prominent Federation-sponsored archaeological dig, and nobody picked up she was so batshit crazy. And in her spare time, she went and memorized all the command protocols and everything you need to know to run a starship. How did she get the fucking basic command codes? How did she open Kirk's wall safe? There were just so many holes in that, and it told me that was the end of the run, and they knew it, and they stopped caring.
Yeah,
they just put it together because they were paid to and knew that was it. Yeah. So an episode that needed at least 3 more rewrites didn't get it, and it's now remembered as one of the most backward, stupid episodes of the whole series. Spock's brain, I think, is a better episode than that one. To be honest with you, it makes more sense in canon that some crazy chick can come by and scoop out his brain with space age technology than it does saying that yes, women weren't allowed. Like, yeah, listen, I'm not an SJW or nothing, but Come on, fair is fair. Who believed it then in 1968 that women wouldn't be allowed to command anything?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was just that wasn't done.
By then, Roddenberry had kind of checked out. He's looking at the next gig because that's it.
Exactly. There was an episode done with people that had just checked out, that cashed the last paychecks. They're here contractually. Get it over and done with. Who cares?
Now they did do an episode and continues. They did do an episode where they brought this up.
Yeah.
Where I forget what it was, but the one where they're looking for somebody to take over command of the hood or something.
Right. And that's another thing. Wasn't Kirk? You said the hood. Wasn't he on the hood at the time of not the Changeling? What's the episode with the gaseous cloud that kills people just by going over them? Kirk was
the Farragut, actually. It was the obsession.
Oh, the Farragut then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. But what I'm saying is Kirk he didn't get his start on the Enterprise. He worked and it also, in my humble opinion, it fleshes out the universe more. That Kirk never set foot on the Enterprise. He was on other ships when he was a lieutenant commander, a commander.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go through. I never served in the Navy, but I understand very few people get to jump ranks. And if they do, it's for an extreme situation or like combat promotion, or battlefield promotion or something. Not, you know what? He's showing up on time every day. He's got the right attitude. Let's make him captain. Sounds good. Let's go. No.
Yeah, just being a good officer is not going to get you command by the time you're 34.
No, of course not.
You're not going to make 06 by the time you're 30. So, but they did have in court martial, they're racking off the list of decorations and medals and it's like he's had quite a career. Medal of Honor winner, including.
Yeah. And that was a big problem I had with the J.J. Abrams movie, is that all this got glossed over and forgotten about. There is no history.
Big case of Red Rover, send the cadet on over. Okay, guess what? You're the captain. What?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from? Yeah.
I do know that the idea of doing a Star Trek where they were cadets was floated around for a few ideas. Doing a Star Trek series of cadets or something, or a movie where before.
Bennett posted one time. I think even Roddenberry looked at it for a while, back in the day.
Right.
But it always comes down to the same thing. These people weren't at the academy at the same time.
No, they couldn't.
Not even Kirk and Spock. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Kirk is younger than Shatner, but Spock and Nimoy are supposed to be about the same age. So there's a little bit of there's not much overlap there. It'd be like Kirk was like a freshman or sophomore when Spock was a senior.
Right. Yeah. So, and like I say, it's not impossible for a younger officer to succeed where older officers don't. Sure, that does happen. No argument.
Shoot up the ranks and
But I can't believe that.
So why not?
Spock was already a bridge officer on the USS Enterprise.
Yeah.
At a time when Kirk was a cadet. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how did Spock, can stay on the Enterprise? Look, this guy's been a lieutenant for 25 fucking years. Maybe he's not that good at his job. Oh shit! Somebody's at my door. Can you give me 1 second, please?
Spock should have been an ensign right there. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Somebody's knocking at my door. Just give me 2 seconds, please.
All right. No, at best, Spock should have been an ensign really in that thing, and just on the ship himself. But I'm thinking, let's see. I was going to go somewhere with this. Okay. No, there is a very good reason for Spock staying on the Enterprise, because he got there. That's it. I'm not going anywhere. This is home. But he sure as hell wasn't going back to Vulcan anytime soon. Because they touch on it a bit in Journey to Babel when Amanda is telling me about why Spock chose Starfleet in the rift between him and Sarek. Because being a kid of two worlds and that emotional human half, he on the Enterprise, everyone thinks Spock is very cold fish. Whereas the same behavior on a Vulcan ship, he'd ripped apart left and right for such flagrant emotionalisms, like daring to smirk or cock that eyebrow. So what do you again, bring it back to that episode of Lower Decks. The Wuzduk. Wuzduk was the name of the thing. Klingon means three ships. and they're showing the lower deck situation on other ships beside the Cerritos. They show the lower decks on a Klingon bird of prey, which I expect. They beat each other up for fun and move up to assassination. And they show the lower deck situation on a Vulcan ship. And very calm. But and this one officer, Talen, I think is her name. She's coming up with all these kind of innovations. She's got a hunch. Hunchers are not logical. There's flagrant emotionalism. You must just go meditate. And she eventually gets transferred out and then recommended for a spot on a Starfleet ship. Yeah, guess which Starfleet ship she's going to wind up on? Become next season. She's she's going to wind up on the Cerritos. Okay, because they spent too much time building this character up, making her sympathetic, and so the Cerritos is going to get themselves a new Vulcan. But it's like the only place Spock really feels at home is in Starfleet and on the Enterprise. It's like he's there, he's doing what he wants. The ship's going. We do a lot more stuff than he'll ever find with the Vulcan Science Academy or on a Vulcan ship, because a Vulcan captain doesn't do anything. Let's check over there, see what's on a whim, just see what follow the kind of thing. Learn to appreciate these slightly illogical leaps of logic, or these leaps of logic where it's like, no, it's not logical, but it appears to be correct. This is interesting. Let's try this one just for the hell of it. And so Spock was on the Enterprise with Pike for 11 years, 4 months, 3 months, whatever the number was. They rattled off in the menagerie, and he was there when transfer between Pike and Kirk. So when Kirk came on, it came with with a Vulcan already equipped. So we're waiting for Son of Richard to come back on. After dealing with the door. We got 3 people in the chat, so feel free to pipe in with any questions you might have, and we'll deal with them all when they get back. We want to take a look at Twitter feed, see if anybody's responded. And someone's asked a question: Iron Eagle, Top Gun inspired ripoff? Well, I think I know I saw Iron Eagle before Top Gun, so I think Iron Eagle may have come first. That's another question for another day. So, okay, we got 4 people in the chat. Come on, we're just talking Star Trek here. Just reviewed an unfinished Phase 2 episode, and probably the last time you saw Vic Mignogna on those sets, because I think it was shortly afterwards you had the big blow up to him and James Cawley. I think it appears to be over Mignogna taking the reins and putting out his own edit of Katoomba without Cawley's permission, I guess.
I just wish those 2 would make up.
I know, it's like come on, all right. I would like to think that when I put a Facebook post up on Cawley's feed and where he's going on it, there's only one Kirk, and it's not helium voice Vic Mignogna, and it's like, look, you guys used I know, he just slammed it. Like, look, you 2 used to be pretty tight, okay? I don't know what happened between you 2, if it was about the Katoomba or there's something else, but either way, come on, let it go. You're not solving a damn thing. And like I said, I'm shocked myself looking at this episode was in the works 11 years ago. And Vic did steal a lot of talent because from James at the time they were starting to when they were doing the new voyages, because he managed to steal away Kim Stringer for Uhura, and this one poor kid who was playing Kirk, he snatched him up and made him I think a transporter chief on Continues. He's in at least 1 episode, I think maybe 2. So we're waiting for Son of a Richard to get back. Must be another prolonged chat at the door. Or maybe dinner showed up, That's another kind of waiting for Garage to get back to me when okay, we found the part, and as Bella writes, they should still be covered as far as installing it and not charging me extra, because they did miss it. It is part of the thing, and they missed the thing in the book.
Yeah.
Once that's done,
No
hopefully
personal crap, okay?
we can get back to business here.
They don't want to hear.
I know, but I got to fill time with something. So let's see what else we can come up with here. I'm not sure what else is relevant regarding this. All right, let's put that again up here. Oh, and we're back.
Whoops. Kim?
Yep, right here.
Hey, sorry, buddy. I was my next door neighbor. She's a lovely girl. She just came by and brought me some muffins. What a treat.
Oh man,
muffins.
Where you are?
Well, you say that. If you knew where I was, you probably wouldn't be too interested in switching. I just got a reputation as being a nice guy here, so sometimes people are nice to me. But so how is this working now, Captain? Are you going to be doing this? Is it going to be a weekly show for you? Will you be doing
I might do it if again, assuming we're still here next week. But it's like again, there is a way, there is a way we can stretch things out here, but it'll probably mean taking a hit on my record, because it's like
yeah.
Because it would mean eviction proceedings.
I mean, they need to start eviction, but it would take about a month, which is more than enough time we need to get the money to pay this place off and be done with it. And then get back up and but that I think there would still be a record on there. They started like eviction proceedings, but then you paid 2 days later. But
Well, this is just an idea, and it's not for me to give you guys ideas. You know what you're doing. 100%.
This is the pilot. This is where we start breaking. Okay, what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
If you got any ideas, let us know.
Yeah.
Well, I know you, Robert, and I'm sorry, I don't actually know your wife's name. I do see her in chat, but I got a memory like a sieve. Stephanie. Yeah. There you go. Mm-hmm. Sorry. You're a fairly popular guy. People know you out there. I see you on dozens of little chats and stuff. We never really met until... Yeah, I got no idea what you're talking about there. I assume there was some
unpleasantness. That's good. You don't want to know, because it was a train wreck this morning, so this afternoon.
Well, yeah, but I can't believe everybody's of the same opinion. I know Jedi Bill likes you.
There were some up votes on the train wreck video, so not everyone's
more down votes.
No, more down votes, but because I'm daring to question the saint of a very popular YouTuber, but it's hey, come on, I'm not the only channel that's done this too.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and sadly, politics enters into this.
Yeah,
I myself, I'm not like I'm watching you off an old tablet and a telephone. I keep open so I can read the chats. I don't have a computer to be able to host or do anything, and I'm not very computer literate, but a few people are. And I don't like the politics games myself. I don't play them very well. I generally say what I think. I don't deliberately try to hurt anybody's feelings, but there is times where you feel you got to speak, you got to speak. And a time for you to speak wouldn't be a bad idea to hit a couple of more friendly channels, like guys like Jedi Bill or something. Get in there, get up on the panel, advertise, let people know. Hey, guess what, guys? Every week in November, we're going to be doing you get to watch too. It's none of this BS where you got to go to another room and sit. No, fuck that. You're going to be watching the show with me on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Bill, Jedi Bill, he's a pal of mine. And I go to his watch parties. And the frustrating thing is you got to go to Cosme and load that and then sit there and then rely on his shitty internet connection and my shitty internet connection and to work as no. This is much cleaner. This is so much more pleasant. Yeah. And you're not going to get flagged for doing these things. You've got the numbers. You've got people that like you. There's no reason that this channel won't be turning a profit with a bit of, concerted effort on your part. You put out videos, which is encouraging to see that, you have opinions and stuff like that. A little more spit and polish. Before you know it, people will be coming by. But I think the watch party for you would be a no-brainer, easy idea. You've already got the material to show. People like you. Yes, you're a little irascible sometimes and you get under people's skins, but everybody does. Everybody. I don't even know what YouTuber you're talking about, but I guarantee you he's pissed people off. No doubt. because we
Yeah.
all do invariably,
Mhm.
whether it's intentionally or not. But you always seem to be a very pleasant guy, a very friendly guy, and you are certainly an extremely knowledgeable guy when it comes to the Trek.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I'd suggest is maybe broaden your scope to include movie talks, do discussions of movies and stuff like that.
I do.
I'm still trying to get him to watch Foundation.
Yeah, we'll get to that one day.
To watch Dalmatians. What? I'm sorry.
Foundation.
What?
No,
Oh,
Foundation.
Foundation.
Yeah,
You know what? I haven't seen that myself. I've heard things about it. Isn't Alexander Siddig? Doesn't he? Isn't he a part of that?
Yeah, Sid's in it somewhere. Yeah.
All right.
Jared Harris.
Yeah, son of Richard Harris. He's the the big scientist.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, good for him. Yeah, Richard Harris. His old man had quite the career. He was quite the legendary drunk, but a solid actor nonetheless.
Well,
he was out. Yes.
He had a good little thing about when the time he realized that the drinking was getting out of hand. He like a 3-day bender type thing. He sort of his little solution will show up at the house and say, "Why didn't you pay the ransom?" But it's like his wife's just ready to kill him anyway. But he's like, okay, that's it. This has got to stop. So he just decided one day, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
A couple of bottles of Dom Perignon, and that was it. Never had a drink since for like the last 6 years of his life.
No. Well,
so it kind of goes. A lot of addiction is mental.
It is, but make no mistake, if you've been drinking for 40 plus years, there's a physical response.
Drunkard. Okay.
Yeah.
Tales are still told of stuff Richard Harris would do when he was on a blunder.
I tell you that God's honest truth. I thank God regularly that I was never a drunk. My mother had problems with alcohol, but it can be insidious, because everybody, especially actors. Peter O'Toole tells legendary stories about going out on 3-day benders with guys like Richard Burton, getting absolutely legless. Oliver Reed, another great one, just a notorious. Yeah. Hang out in British pubs, getting drunk with sailors, that sort of thing.
Tony Hadley and
the thing where Tony Hadley of Spandau Ballet and Freddie Mercury, Queen, little thing where that's just the one thing where Tony was supposed to be keeping a low profile. Just calm down. Well, thing is, Queen was in town. He's buds with Freddie, and in a little drunken thing, they get him both. He drags him on stage, and they do a very bad rendition of "Great Balls of Fire." He gets an angry call from his agent. What part of low profile did you not understand? But there was, Richard Harris said a lot of people, it's like they make a big deal about how they fought there, and it's like, no, you fought so hard because you didn't want to quit yet.
Yeah,
you make your mind up. Finally, you want to quit. Then it's the easiest thing in the world. You just don't do it. I've heard some of the things with smoking. Like when you finally but pick a date. That's the last thing. You can smoke and drink all the one, but whatever you're trying to quit, that's the date. That's the last one. Set up in your mind. But after that date, no more. You're done. So when you hit that way, you hit it because you had a stroke.
Sure.
That was the final. Yeah. Okay. That's it. They're on the and you never smoked since.
That being said, addiction is a powerful thing.
Oh yeah, it can be. Yeah.
And for me, I've been smoking for 40 years. I haven't smoked the last 3 days. Honestly, cards on the table, because I'm absolutely tapped. I'm broke. I can't afford a pack of cigarettes right now.
Oh yeah,
but
the syntax have made their hit.
Yeah, and that's just how it goes. Some days, some months I'm a little lucky. I get a little extra money. Some months I don't, and this is one of those months I don't. And I think a lot of the YouTubers out there are into that too. But there are a lot of good people out there, and if you're putting out a brave face and you're putting out the good content and people like you, they're going to come. And with numbers and with time, people will start digging in. And the guys that I see that get the most favorable and stuff response are those that are out there putting out new content, whether they feel like it, whether they're in the mood, whether, whether they got good sleep last night or not, or they're broke or not, they're just putting it out there consistently. Consistency is key. you know. And I've seen it. I remember your channel when you were well under 1,000, well under 1,000.
Mhm.
And I didn't really get sociable with this YouTube until recently. You know, I just started going and talking to people and going up and being friendly and getting on chats and stuff. And I didn't mind coming up tonight because I just happened to have a pleasant discussion with you. You've probably forgotten about over on Jedi Bill's channel, but I remember the people that are nice to me, and then I like to be nice to them back. And I want to see you succeed. And I think many people do, in spite of whatever static you might be getting from whatever Johnny Come Lately YouTuber seems to be riding a high because he's got 17 people in his chat at one time or not, you know. Who gives a toss? Forget the other people, concentrate on you. You know what you're doing. And I love your icon, by the way. I do. That right there sums up Star Trek right there.
That was our first.
Is that let's see, is that my no, that's on the Kingsland, Georgia. That's the bridge set. The first Star Trek Continues.
Right. I tell you the truth, when I see it in the small ones, at the first I thought you had a Star Wars shirt on. And there's part of me going, okay, that's balls to show up and sit in the bridge seat with a Star Wars.
My cafe press shop says, "Thanks a lot, Alec," and on the back it has all the guidelines.
Oh,
came out as a result of the accident kerfuffle.
Well, yeah, that whole nightmare.
I think I need to replace that shirt because I think I lost it in the car crash.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? But at any rate, yeah, this Star Trek, make it a weekly or make it, a bi-weekly show, something like that. Yeah. There are enough episodes out there to justify it, especially if it's okay for you to run the Star Trek Continues ones, know, and do it like a friendly watch party. It'll take a little while, but sure, people are going to start paying attention. They're going to start coming back, and they'll come back in droves.
I mean, this
You're
is
a charming guy.
This is direct competition with Tricking on Tuesday, at least as far as that goes. Oh, yeah, April wrote the screen this one yesterday. Well, that's what you get for booting me off, Wes.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you can play the politics game and be super nice. I look at, I just talking to Jedi Bill about this, where he's going, things are coming up, and listen, he was asking me for any ideas I had that would set you apart. And I said, well, here's one idea. Take everybody's wrenches away. He goes, well, I can't do that. I go, look at all the channels that you hang out with. Captain Trek, Bird of Prey 5, you all hit the exact same numbers on every show. It's because you have the exact same people watching. And when you go to all these guys' channels, it's a sea of blue.
Yeah.
Now, on one hand, you think, well, I'm being friendly. Well, yes, you are. But people that come in for 2 or 3 days and they don't get a wrench, well, why does some guy called Wookie Covensey get a wrench? And fuck this. No, I'm going somewhere else. He doesn't like me. Now people get the idea you're in your own little clique. You have those 25 people and that's it. You got to be thinking big numbers, big expansion. Doomcock is a great example. Like him or hate him, the guy knows how to run his channel. Look at his wrenches.
Also an example of what happens when you got too many mods.
Well, but he's curtailed that.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother level, like where guys get all gatekeepery and stuff like this. And if you don't toe the line exactly, boom, you're out, or we're reporting you to our liege. Fuck you. You wouldn't dare say shit to me in the line of McDonald's.
Yeah.
But one of his mods was on our channel earlier trying to egg people on.
Yeah. The kind of it's like, you're not a mod here, lady.
Yeah.
Keep your ass in line.
Yeah, no.
You're in my house now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Well, yeah, we've been about an hour and a half, and this is one for reviewing too, for watching again. So I think we're going to wrap it up about there. So
sounds good.
Yeah, so thanks for stopping by, and I think if we are still here next week or wherever we wind up, now hopefully I'm not going to be doing this from a Starbucks, but yeah, we can talk about that later. So we will talk. Yeah.
Best of luck, Stephanie. Best of luck, Robert. You got a fan over here, that's for sure.
Hopefully we can pull this off without doing too much personal damage to ourselves in the process here. But we only need a couple of days, I think. So that's the thing that we're not being given.
Isn't it always the way, though? It comes down to just a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, so
frustrating.
many times it's like look, because I've got a job application going with a local radio station that appears to be making its way forward. That's going to be tough if I'm living in a van by the river. So,
Well, keep your head up, brother. Stay strong. Stay the course. You'll do it. I'm sure.
Okay, folks, we will end it there. So we will talk at you later. PayPal link in below, and have fun.